couple of Christmas seasons ago, Crowing Hen released a challenge to make a spinning wheel out of gingerbread, which is quite the interesting and intriguing challenge. But however, she made one fatal flaw, and that was she put in her challenge that you could adapt this challenge to local, regional traditions. And that, my dear friends, was a fatal flaw, because I am going to take big advantage of that. Because I live in Belgium, and more specifically, I live near the capital of Speculaas. Speculaas or Speculaas or bespoke. Yes, we Belgians are quite salty about the name bespoke. So Speculaas is our regional variant of a spiced cookie, so a gingerbread kind of thing. The difference with gingerbread is that it's traditionally not made into shapes by baking them and then gluing them together. No, traditionally, Speculaas is made into shapes with speculaasmold. I think you see where we're going here, right? And maybe if you have been very attentive, you know that there is some wood here in between my hands. And some lino cutters that I hope will work on this wood. This wood I got in a toy shop, so it should be soft enough for children to work with, so I hope also soft enough for lino cutters. So friends, that is what we are going to make to tackle Crowing Hen's challenge. We are going to make our own Speculaas mold and, well, of course, make it in a shape of a spinning wheel and then make spinning wheel Speculaas. And you have noticed that the day of uploading is not Christmas. Our regional tradition does not say Speculaas with Christmas, it says Speculaas with St. Nicholas Day, which is today. Anyway, the challenge said that the challengers should upload their spinning wheel before December 24th. December 6th is very much before December 24th. So let's get cracking. First, let's free this wood. I have grabbed a pencil and an eraser, and first we are going to sketch a spinning wheel. Now, luckily, I do have some very willful models to stand model for these cookie molds. I think we're going to start with Kristine, because she's the most recognizable traditional spinning wheel shape, because she's actually just an Ashford Traditional. So she's approximately as high as she is long, so make kind of a Since we first need like a solid cookie shape, I'm not bothering with the inside lines right now. We're first going to cut out this shape so that we have an actual cookie. Yeah, sounds like a plan? And even if it doesn't, we're going to do it. I'm using the broad U-shaped cutter to first make the big cuts to level the field actually. And now if you're wondering, have I ever used lino cutters before? Oh yes, surely I have. Can you see this scar on my thumb right over here? Yeah, that's a lino cutter. So I know that they are very dangerous, and you should always cut away from your hands where you get scars like that. So while the rains are crashing down on us, I have finished my general cookie shape. Now it's looking really rough. While chocolate chip cookies are great, wood chip cookies are not. So I'm going to sand the surface, have it nice and smooth, and then we can draw on the details of the spinning wheel. Now we want like a sharper V to carve out the details. I'm cutting out the parts that are actually the spinning wheel so that we get a high relief cookie and not a bas relief cookie. Bas relief, low relief, no, don't know the terms in English, but you get what I mean. I want the spinning wheel to be on top of the cookie. The Speculaas. So it's not great, but it is a spinning wheel. Let's sand this, let's finish this off. And we have our very own handmade Speculaas mold. Good morning. It is time to put our Speculaas mold to the test and make speculaas. This, by the way, is brown sugar, but not the brown sugar you might be familiar with. This is candé suiker, and I believe it is actually also a regional product of the Low Countries. I just added the Speculaas spices, which are cinnamon, coriander seed, caraway. I'm going to put the translation over here because I actually don't know what it is. Nutmeg, ginger, and cloves. Now, there is a distinct difference between speculaas and spéculoos. Other than just spéculoos being the French way of writing speculaas, it is that the Netherlands actually was able to get hold of speculaas spices due to their very exotic colony in the east. Belgium, on the other hand, did their atrocities in Africa, where they didn't have speculaas spices. So a cookie baker in Verviers, in the Walloon part of the country, started making his own speculaas, but just spiced with the brown sugar you just saw and cinnamon. And that is then called spéculoos, after the French word for speculaas. But we are making speculaas today because right now we are all rich and affluent and get speculaas spices, not only the Dutch. Our dough has chilled for 2 hours in the fridge. It's time to actually test out our Speculaas mold. I'm first greasing up my mold with a little bit of butter because the molds work better when they're slightly greasy. There we go. And now just sprinkle a little bit of flour on there so the cookies will release. Gotta work it. Okay. I guess I did not use enough flour, they're not releasing, but you can see on, if you can, on this bit that the lines are coming through anyway. I cut off too much. Ah! Yeah! Look! Ah, it's our first spinning wheel cookie. Friends, the time hath come. My oven has indicated that it is preheated at 250 degrees Celsius. And here are our little Speculaas cookies. No, they're Speculaas because I used Speculaas spices. The recipe that I was following, which will be linked in the description, it is Dutch however, but Google Translate will probably help you, said that it was dough for 12 to 15 cookies, and I came out with exactly 8. Maybe my Speculaas mold was a little bit bigger than hers. As I was finished carving, I was kind of a little bit concerned that I might have made the mold too shallow, but they look, I don't know if you can see, and I also don't know if you know Speculaas, but they look like the exact traditional thickness of Speculaas. I am very excited for them. I'm going to pop them in the oven for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then they should be done because they're really small. And now the nail-biting part, the waiting. Will they expand? Will the cookies when baked still look like spinning wheels? Anyway, we've got 5 minutes to kill now. Maybe I should talk to you. Did I enjoy being the pedantic European in this video? Oh, very much. Did you see me like being all smug at the beginning? I so enjoy being a pedantic European on the internet. And then secondly, I chose to do this for St. Nicholas Day because Speculaas means St. Nicholas Day, but also St. Nicholas Day is a big thing over here. Like Santa? No. He is just een slap afkooksel, we should say, like a really bad copy of St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas is the real deal. Like, we have actual official entries of St. Nicholas, like the big one, which is televised on national television.
Dat Bart, lief kind.
Welkom in Oostende.
Er zijn dit jaar geen stoute kinderen.
Is in the port of Antwerp, but everywhere where there is like a body of water, There is a ship with St. Nicholas, even in my stupid village, which coincidentally lays next to a body of water. We had St. Nicholas coming in on a boat. There are some controversies about St. Nicholas, of course. Well, not about him, but more about his friend Piet, who used to be called Black Piet, Zwarte Piet, but we now call Roet Piet or Soet Piet, because we want to get rid of the racist stereotypes and just say that Piet is black because he came through the chimney. A little bit like Santa does. I mean, Santa really is a slap afkoksel. Let's pray for these cookies. Stop weeping. Ooh. Okay, they still need to cool down, of course. But they're looking quite good. And now, for le moment suprême, a taste test. Got myself a nice cup of tea, because I like speculaas with tea. And we're going to try one of our little Ashford Traditional Speculaas cookies. That's some good speculaas. This is the reason why Lotus, our biggest speculoos company, renamed cookie to Biscoff, because it's a biscuit that you eat with coffee. No, it's speculaas, and you eat it with tea. Clearly. Maybe a little bit hard. Maybe 5 minutes were better than 6. Yeah, I would call this wood carving and subsequent speculaas baking a success. But of course, you're not going to believe me, are you? Like, I did the thing. How am I going to be objective about it?
Speculaas.
Speculaas!
More speculaas. Kudos. Could go with a coffee.
Could go with a coffee.
Nice.
Thank you. So yeah, normally you would end the video like this with the entire end project, but we ate it. We ate it all. It was that good. Anyway, I'm really happy that my own woodcut Speculaas mold in the shape of an Ashford Traditional was a working Speculaas mold, that I could bake cookies from this. And I will bake some more in the future, I guess. If you like these kind of fiber adjacent shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe. But of course, that is all up to you. If you're interested in seeing some more unrelated craft videos, then here is a playlist. And I will see you in a next video. Bye!